Hello again, and welcome to F1 22 Co-op. We're going to be racing around Jeddah. Today we qualified it first. Let's see if we can maintain the position. Lights out, away we go. AI, turn left in unison, and then chaos. Hamilton, oh wait, nope. Shot, passing me. The two Red Bulls passing as well. We didn't get a good start. We're alongside with Max Verstappen. We're keeping it alongside here. Let's see if we can dive around the outside. We keep it on track and we consolidate third. Not terrible. So we're coming through this little S area. Formula 1 tracks seem to love having tons of those. A quick left-right in very high speed. So coming down to one of the first real braking zones. Well, actually no, first two turns are pretty big braking zones, but here, that one you can make a lot of time up on that big kind of banked one. So we cut the track there, slow down a little bit, and stewards don't give us a penalty. Keep going. We're losing time to Sergio Perez and Shot, so things aren't looking good for Alfa Romeo. I'd say we kind of we out-qualified the car, but in reality, the car is actually pretty fast at this point. We've done a lot of upgrades to chassis and as many as we can to powertrain. The facilities are a little bit holding us back right now. We can go for a little bit more aero. We're actually one of the worst teams when it comes to aero. So this track in general should be pretty good for us. As you can see, we caught, it was like 6/10 when Sean and Perez started fighting. We're now a second on them from when we fell back before that straight. So that should give you an idea of one, how little aero the car has, and two, how much power and how little weight the chassis holds. Sergio Perez screwing up that corner, going offline and off track. Technically gaining advantage on the radio right now, complaining to my team about how he should give me the space or the spot. Instead, Perez does fight us. He's doing a little bit of a defense there. You can see in the top right, things are getting pretty close. We're really starting to close up on Perez. 3/10. We've been right behind him for just about this whole lap. Can we pass him into, I think this is a little bit of a corner. We break in, it's fine. We come out, everything's okay. This is the DRS zone, but we're on lap 2, so there's no DRS. Perez has caught to the back of Sean. We're going almost 3 wide for a second there. Perez looking for the opportunity on Sean, me looking for the opportunity on Perez. We don't really get the run on him. We are right behind him though. As you can see, we're closing and going for the outside move possibly here. Sean, hopefully, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe he'll block Perez. Instead, he kind of blocks to the outside or takes the racing line actually. That's not really a block. And we kind of slip in, get ahead of Perez, and now we're looking to make the move on Shot. Coming through here, it's a little tricky. You gotta dual pedal modulation. Make sure that the car isn't moving too fast when you come to this point. We didn't really take enough track there, but it's fine. We're right on Sean. We go a little off track. And we probably should have slowed down to relieve the advantage that I gained going off track. Instead, though, we crashed into Sean. Spinning out the car. Looking for a spot to come back in. We're going. Ooh, it's a little tight. A lot of cars approaching very fast. And relatively clean. Coming back to the track. We come back in 5th place, losing a total of 4 positions from where we started. Not great. At this point, I'm thinking, well, maybe it's time to do the early stop, get myself out of this traffic, and just put in some nice laps as we get a nice view of all the cars. Oh, Sean has spun. Looks like Perez had gone on the move for him, spinning him on. Out. At this point, I was slowing down because I was on the radio with our main antagonist, and we were talking about possible outcomes of this race. We could possibly, you know, do the old jump back in time, but at this point, Sean was like, "Nah, let's go for it," and I respect that decision. And I decided, BSC, we're going in for a new pair of mediums. We're gonna lose the least amount of time, and that way it'll kind of get me out of all this chaos, and I could put in some clean laps. Don't really have to worry too much about the AI if there's only one or two around you. I think there was one ahead of me at this point, as we're about to come out and see where everything is on track. So we're coming out 10 seconds behind Lance Stroll, closing up pretty quickly. The VSC is in at this point as soon as we come out of the pit lane. So it's back onto green flag racing, and we're gonna soon skip forward a little bit. There's just a bit of clean lapping that has to happen as we go a little wide there, but we keep it mostly on track. We don't get all four wheels off, I think. We don't get a penalty at least, so obviously completely fine. Here we go. This corner scares me because I'm never really sure where to brake. I like to try and brake after that little hump. Anyway, we skip a few laps later. 2 laps indeed. Oh, look at all those people who didn't pit under the racing. The VSC. Virtual safety car. Not virtual racing car. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway, we are 2 and 10th and closing fast on Sergio Perez. We're up to 1 and 5/10. The gap is just absolutely being eaten up. I think at this point, seeing that Perez is that close, I start to really push, and we're within DRS range. I'm pretty sure actually we do get DRS on the straight here because we've done the job and closed up. Let's see, does it open onto the main straight here? And we're coming into the DRS zone now. We've got a great run on Perez. It's open. We're going for it. So we have a little braking corner, braking zone here. We keep it around the outside on Perez. Perez gives us the space, and we are still wheel to wheel. We squeeze Perez a little bit towards the wall, but we don't really push him too much into it. He gets the space, but he slows down, and we get the position. Going into the final corner to move up onto Mick Schumacher, who has jumped into the pits. So here, we're about to gain tons of positions. Yep, all the way up into first. Turns out, Sergio Perez was the guy at first, and now we're starting to gap him. We've got a more than 1 second gap, which means he's not going to have DRS when we hit the DRS straight. We just have to maintain keeping the car on the track, and it seems the Alfa Romeo will keep the pace at this point in the race. Sean had also DNF'd. The damage that had been done to his car when he was spun out by Perez just kind of was too much, made it very unstable. I'm pretty sure he got underbody damage, and eventually, after changing to new tires on one of these straights, as you see me go off the track, I'm pretty sure he actually crashed like right there and DNF'd, though we didn't get a safety car from it, and the race just continued. We didn't even get a VSC. It just went on. Apparently it was pretty easy for the stewards at Jeddah to clean up. They just have like some sort of car super vacuum. They just sucked them right up and off the track. Anyway, as you can see, we opened up the gap substantially to Perez. 1 whole second in just a lap. It's not looking good for the Red Bulls, but it's looking great for Alfa Romeo, which will be coming home, possibly, with their first win of the season. So, yeah, not too much has changed, and as you can see, look at that. We got up to an 11-second lead on Sergio Perez. We just really had the pace on the AI. And after this race, we're actually moving the AI up levels. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging in the next race. And hopefully maybe we'll even battle Sean a little bit more if he doesn't crash out. Get wrecked, Sean. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the race, and see you next time.